I need to get some soft shorts. I need to get those Patagonia ones.
Yeah,
well, I ordered those. We'll see how those J. Crew pants are.
Do you want to borrow pants?
No, I'll be fine.
Oh, I just realized we're recording.
Hi, Charlotte.
Madeline, welcome home.
Oh, my God. Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
I'm thrilled you made it back. For those who didn't follow on our Instagram story, which you should be following both of us and our show on Instagram, Madeline got stuck in the Austin airport yesterday.
It was a travel day from hell, truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
I have never gone crazier internally.
Well,
I was losing my mind.
You do a really good job of like going externally zen and just getting through it. Except
you have to.
I guess at hour like 15 for you, I did get a selfie where I was like, someone in
I'll insert it.
Someone in the
actually.
Hartsfield-Jackson airport has to go do a wellness check on Madeline, who's eating Chick-fil-A on the floor.
Yeah, in a leaky terminal.
Like-
in a leaky no, the terminal was actually leaking it. So I finally make my connection from Austin to Atlanta, which, by the way, I wasn't supposed to have a connection for the record. I was supposed to land yesterday at 11 a.m. I didn't land until 11 p.m. So I ended up taking a different flight because I was like, I just need to get out of Austin to like a main Delta hub. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get to Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta.
Classic.
So I get there and I'm going to Terminal D.
Oh.
Terminal D at Hartsfield-Jackson is under construction, I think. It looks like kind of old LaGuardia.
Yeah, it does.
Like there's just no ceiling tiles.
Is that the one with the Bojangles?
I don't know if there's there might be. I think Bojangles maybe is Terminal C. I can't believe I know that. I could be wrong though.
Okay.
Because a Chick-fil-A's in Terminal C.
I think Bojangles. I think it's terminal. The amount of I spent a lot of when I did the college football stuff. Had to connect to places in the South. A lot of time in Hartsfield-Jackson.
Yes, a lot of time there.
Yeah.
So I land in Terminal D and I get off the plane. Immediately, there's buckets everywhere. Buckets lining the hallway because there's just a drip because it's bad weather.
Right.
Which also didn't help the delays. No. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, okay, this is like, I've been awake since 4 a.m. I've spoken to different forms of Delta customer service on my phone, texting, in person. I'm like, I just need some comfort food right now. And I was like, I need to go to Chick-fil-A. But I knew it wasn't in Terminal D. It was in Terminal C, one of the Chick-fil-A's. And I was like, this flight is going to be more delayed. I know this connection. I was like, I'm going to make this connection and I'm also going to get my Chick-fil-A. So I sped walked. Like, I have never...
Sped walked.
Sped walked?
You speed walked.
I'm going on limited sleep, okay?
Yeah.
I walked fast.
Yeah, there you go.
I walked quickly.
Yeah, nailed it.
To the air train. Which, by the way, can I talk about the air train for a second?
Please.
Why did they change the announcements from be as in Bravo to like be as in be a good person or whatever? They changed,
did?
Yes, they changed the voiceover. And I don't mind the person doing the voiceover. I'm just like, I miss the old Atlanta terminal. Do you know what I'm talking about? When they would be like, C as in Charlie.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's what you want. I don't need what they have now, which is not that.
C as in clear your schedule. It's time to be a good person.
No, it's like, I'm like, I don't like it.
Okay.
So that always throws me off. So change it back. Hartsfield-Jackson. Get to Terminal C. There's a huge line of Chick-fil-A. What am I saw? I go, I'm already here. What am I going to do?
If you'd missed your flight because of Chick-fil-A,
there was another flight I was on standby on it
Okay.
like 30 minutes later. So I did, trust me, I thought about that.
Can I pull the curtain back real quick?
Yes.
Every Tuesday when we record this, afterwards, when we're...
Can't believe
when
you're
Madeline
saying this.
is editing the show and putting in the pictures on YouTube that if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing right now, she orders Chick-fil-A.
I do.
So I was like, look, even if we're recording on Wednesday, you still got your Tuesday Chick-fil-A.
I did get my Tuesday Chick, which I didn't even think about.
So
yeah, I did get Tuesday Chick-fil-A. It's not good for you, but it does taste good.
It tastes good. Well, I'm really glad you made it back.
I made it back.
There is something from Austin that is related to sports gossip that we have to talk about.
What?
You saw the cheese shop. So here, this
God.
segues nicely into the NBA playoffs because this is something I wanted to talk about. We have reached the part of the NBA playoffs where I start going insane, where my whole life is scheduled around basketball and has been for like a month and a half now. And you see the same commercials.
Yeah.
Every night. Like I have a dance that I made up to the Wingstop commercial.
We may need to get you to do that for TikTok.
It's really just mostly, yeah. Well, I think
we'll
give it away.
arrange that.
And so last year, I don't think they run it anymore. Was it a Capital One?
I think it was Capital One, and it was supporting small businesses. And it was for this cheese shop called Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And it would say, this is Capital One.
And we're the Antonellis. So I'm in
Madeline,
Austin. I have never looked up the cheese shop.
Neither.
Don't know where it is.
I spent like a year, 2 years, however long it ran, wondering if Antonelli's was a real place.
Oh.
Never occurred to me to look it up on the internet.
Oh.
I was just like, are these actors or is this real?
Oh, it's real. I gasped. I was driving to dinner.
Yeah.
Parked my car. Well, my mom's car. And I get out of the car. Antonelli's Cheese Shop. And I'm like, this can't be the Antonellis. It is. And they have they have 2 locations across the street from each other. And apparently they have multiple locations in Austin.
No way.
Yes.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. I was blown away.
I flipped.
I
It was like seeing a celebrity. It was like you saw a celebrity.
I texted so many people about it. I was so excited.
It's incredible.
Because if you've seen that commercial, like, you know.
Yeah. And
I
we're
couldn't
the
believe it.
Antonellis. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It was
that,
crazy.
It's that. And then the hey, ding,
yeah.
ding,
What you
ding.
got to say?
Yeah, which is a New
New
Balance,
Balance.
one.
New Balance.
We got next.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, God. Just like the amount of capitalism being beamed into
in our brain.
Also, New Balance. Really love you.
Come on the pod.
Boston brand.
Come
okay.
on the pod.
Okay, so we have to talk about some. Look, yes, the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder are playing in the Western Conference Finals, and you might be sitting there saying, hey, why do you guys have such an East Coast bias? Well, first of all, because Madeline is a lifelong Knicks fan as
Obviously.
of 3 weeks ago.
Obviously.
And also because there's a lot more drama in Knicks Pacers.
Yeah.
Wolves Thunder's just been sort of like, all right, we'll see what happens. Shea won MVP. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander won MVP of the NBA.
Congrats to him.
Very cute speech where he cried as he thanked his wife.
I know.
He is wearing some really great fits post-game. He's been doing a lot of sleeveless.
Yep, love that.
Into it. But that's sort of the juiciest stuff we've gotten out of there.
Yeah, there's not much. It's kind of just like you're just waiting for Oklahoma City to just like wrap it up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Knicks Pacers, however.
Oh, boy.
This is something that you and I have talked about a lot, which is vibes. Sports analysis is mostly vibes.
Yeah.
The Knicks started to fall apart in Game 3. They eventually won Game 3, but they were down 20, and it looked like it was like a clown show.
Yeah.
It was like they all forgot how to play basketball. My husband, lifelong Knicks fan, since the day he was born, sorry, Madeline, no shade
It's all
to
right.
you.
It's all right.
Was just like, this is awful.
Yeah.
The games, they came back and won, but during that period of time where they were playing very badly, I think I texted you, Madeline, and I was like, something in the locker room is off. Like, there is interpersonal drama that is causing this collapse, because there's no way that players who are this good and this talented, and Tom Thibodeau, who's the coach of the Knicks, who's gotten them farther than he's ever gotten them, all of a sudden started playing. He's famous for only playing his starters and making them play the whole game and never subbing in.
Which is crazy, by the way. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
But it kind of has worked, sort of. Clearly, he needed to switch something up. He starts playing a guy named DeLon Wright, who I didn't even know was on the team.
Didn't know who he was.
Puts Landry Shamet back. All these guys start coming in, and I was like, oh, something is. And like, there had been in Game 1, like Brunson and Anunoby, who are 2 players on the Knicks, had started sort of yelling at Karl Anthony Towns, who's on the Knicks, on the bench. Like, something's up.
Something's up, and you could tell last night. So, the spoiler alert: the Knicks lost last night to the Pacers.
So the series is now 3-1 Pacers Knicks.
And I texted you, and I was like, the vibes are off. You can just tell by their body language and facial expressions that they are not happy.
No,
they are not happy.
And if you remember last year when the Knicks made it to the second round, like, they were joking around. It was like the buddy comedy you didn't know you needed, where Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson were ribbing each other in press conferences. Jalen would be sort of joking around post-game interviews. This is like they're at a funeral. This is like their company is on the edge of bankruptcy. Because, again, this is a company. They are coworkers.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had to spend every waking moment and go on the road with your coworkers for, 8 months, 7 months?
Yeah.
And then you're still with it, and like, things are weird, but you have to go play You have to go work publicly.
It feels like the last night on a family beach trip when you're all staying in the same house together. It's like night 6 of 7 on your week rental. And everyone's, happy, but everyone's like, I want this to be over. You can just, everyone loves each other. I don't even know if the Knicks don't love each other, but it's like everyone just kind of wants it to be over. It's sort of the same vibe. It's night 6 of a 7-night family beach trip. That's where we're at with the Knicks.
And if you keep doing well, if you keep like doing something on the beach trip, you stay on the beach trip longer. Like you are punished. If you do well, you are punished by having to stay on the beach trip.
You could just tell. I texted Charlotte this. Jalen Brunson was making some free throws right at the end of the game. That was like 2 minutes left or something like that. And he made the free throws, whatever, fine. But it was like in between one of the free throws, they're all kind of like conversing the Knicks. And you just see Jalen Brunson's face and it's just like deadpan. Like, and it wasn't deadpan like he was locked in. It was like deadpan like he was annoyed and there was tension amongst the players.
Yeah, it's like the light behind his eyes has gone out,
yes.
Has dimmed a little bit.
And you can also just tell, like, I'm sorry, I'm not a basketball analyst, but it just seems like they're all done. And it's not because they don't want I don't even think it's because they don't want to win.
No, they do. They desperately
want to win, but it's the energy in that group is not a winning energy.
At all.
At all.
And if you look
not.
at the Pacers, they all genuinely seem to be in it together.
Yes.
Like
they're playing like a team.
Yes. And when Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are on the court together, they barely, like you would think basketball wise, you would think that they would do a lot more this thing called pick and rolls, where you use a big guy and a little guy goes around and whatever, you get it.
Yeah.
And it really, usually, it's one of them taking the ball and playing what you call ISO, where it's one-on-one, where it's one guy who basically just like tries to make something happen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the way, something's off. Yeah. And I have a few facts that I would like to share with you.
Please.
This goes back very, very far because Tom Thibodeau is the coach. Rick Brunson is an assistant coach. Rick Brunson is also Jalen Brunson's dad. Yeah. So he's the dad of the star of the team, right? Yeah. They met when Rick Brunson was 15 years old because Tom Thibodeau was coaching at Salem State. Rick Brunson is from Salem, Mass. Also, shout out to Salem, Mass, where my cousin and uncle have a cheese shop, the cheese shop of Salem.
Not Antonelli's.
Not Antonelli's. It all comes full circle. And they would play like men's league basketball together in like 1990. Rick Brunson has since been an assistant coach for Tibbs at the Bulls, the Wolves, and now the Knicks.
Yeah.
Also, so there's that.
Okay.
There's that connection. Leon Rose, who is the GM, president, whatever title, head guy at the Knicks.
Yeah.
He used to be an agent at CAA.
Okay.
He now runs the Knicks. His son, Sam Rose, represents Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson last year took less money than he could have by waiting another year to stay with the Knicks so they had more money to get other players to win a championship.
Which I want to talk about that in a minute.
Yes. Then Karl Anthony Towns comes in, and he is rep by somebody else. And I'm not saying that it has any, it's just there's a lot of stuff that's close to home. Also, Leon Rose, president of the Knicks, is Jalen Brunson's godfather.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of interpersonal stuff to set the stage already.
Okay, that's a lot going on. That's a lot to unpack, which also brings me to what I was going to say earlier about the pay cut. So Brunson takes a pay cut in order for them to get Cat Dog, right?
Cat Dog. I don't know if it was like specifically for that, but it was for them to get talent to help them win.
Okay. You can't tell me that Brunson is not resentful for taking that pay cut and things not going according to plan. Because even though they've advanced in the playoffs, they're not playing great, and they're kind of just scraping by with these wins.
It's shocking that they are still that they won one game, honestly,
right?
Given how disjointed it has looked.
If you were the star player, right, and you're the star employee, you take a pay cut, even if you're making as much money as Jalen Brunson is, even with the pay cut.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be a little bummed?
Yeah.
That things aren't going, amazing.
It's human nature also because it feels like Karl Anthony Towns, some days he shows up and other days he's the most confusing basketball player. He had in game 3, Knicks are down 20. They come back, cut the lead. Karl Anthony Towns had 4 points until the fourth quarter when he scored 20.
Yeah.
And it's like,
What?
well, what if you just built the plane out of what if you did that the whole time? Like, and I get it. I think that athletes are much more artists than maybe people give them credit for. Like, I think some days you have it and some days you just don't. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily like mentally you have to be able to push through that to play to be great.
Right.
But I do have empathy for these guys when it's just not going their way.
Yeah.
But if I were Brunson, who gives everything all the time, who always has a good game, even though he didn't have a great game, but that's rare.
Yeah.
If the guy who then comes in and you haven't taken all your money and he doesn't seem to be
Yeah.
Look, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what's going on. Also, I could see Josh Hart, who is, I mean, talk about giving 150% all the time. I could see him being frustrated.
Yeah.
It just, something's,
The vibes are off.
The vibes are
You
off.
can't tell me the vibes aren't off.
the vibes are off.
Yeah. Well,
I've been really excited to talk about that.
me too.
Pacers.
Yeah.
Tyrese Haliburton does something last night I don't think anybody has ever done in a playoff game, which was he had a triple-double. So he had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists. That's what a triple-double is. It's when you have double digits in points, rebounds, assists. Fun fact. See, so much of sports is just like making things complicated.
Yeah.
A triple-double. For a while, I was like, what is that? Before I started working in sports.
It's 3 things that are 2.
Yeah. Okay.
3 things that are double.
So, and he had no turnovers. And that is the first time that anybody has ever scored that many points with at least 15 assists and no turnovers in NBA history.
It's
so
crazy.
He's balling out.
He's balling out.
You might remember Tyrese Haliburton. We talked about this like a month and a half ago because his father heckled, like really disrespectfully heckled Giannis Antetokounmpo when the Milwaukee Bucks were bounced from the playoffs by the Pacers.
Yeah.
And his dad he went onto the court. His dad wasn't allowed at games.
For like 9 games.
He is allowed back in the building.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of people being like, yeah, free Tyrese's dad. And it's like, Tyrese's dad did that to himself.
He did.
I have no sympathy because
No.
Tyrese was like, hell yeah, it made a difference having him back in the building. Look, great. Glad he's there. Maybe he shouldn't have like headbutted Giannis. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that. But I do love though he's not allowed on. He was sitting courtside during that Giannis gate moment. He's up in a box. They've put him in a little box up there.
They put him up.
Yeah.
They put him up.
Which feels right.
Also, I looked up Tyrese Haliburton's girlfriend.
Oh yes.
Her name is Jade Jones.
Okay.
Which is the most amazing WAG name
That's a great
all
name.
time.
Can't wait for her to have a brand and a skincare line.
Jade Jones. Yeah. It's like Blake Lively's Blake Brown hair care line.
Which had those weird ads.
I know.
The hair didn't look good in those ads.
No.
What was going on there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jade Jones posted an Instagram from the Garden after the Pacers won both games there and said, finally got to see the ball drop in New York City.
Oof. That's a great one-liner. I must admit, as a lifelong Knicks fan, it's a good post.
It hurts, but it's good.
It hurts, but it's good.
You know what's also so interesting is that like all these guys know each other so well because they've all been around each other in camp since like AAU days, whatever. And like Josh Hart follows Tyrese's girlfriend. Like a bunch of other players follow her. Like they all know each other. So they like hate each other on the court. But then it's like if different regions of your company had content. Like help me out. What's the analogy?
Yeah, it would be like if different regions had like a sales contest.
Yes.
And they all hate each other during it. They're all trying to hit quota quicker. But then at the annual offsite, everyone's having a blast together.
Yeah.
Because like we're all just pals. We're all getting the same 401k and health insurance plans.
Yeah, and we all make a lot of money working for this company in different regions.
Exactly.
It's all good.
It is. It is. Wow.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Lifelong Knicks fan here.
How are you feeling? What's your prediction?
I think they'll win tomorrow.
Okay.
I think the Knicks will win. Mm-hmm. But they're not going to win the series. No, I just don't see it. Again, going off of vibes, we're overcomplicating it. As we always say, it's really just look at the vibes. The vibes are off. They've been off since the beginning. Sorry.
It's true.
I love the Knicks. Lifelong fan here. But guys, you guys got to do some group therapy. It's not working out.
No, I can't wait for the postmortem to come out.
I'm sure there will be some juice.
Our friend Fred Katz, reporter for The Athletic, he always knows what's up, and I feel like he'll tell us what's going on in his postmortem.
I'm sure
on the season. I hope. Fred, come on
the pod.
All right, so we got to switch. There's so much this week. I've been so excited to do this show.
I know. So in other basketball news, WNBA news, the New York Liberty, expanded their ownership group. They got some additional investment to help build their new practice facility in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. One of those investors is supermodel and entrepreneur Karli Kloss, and who also is Taylor Swift's maybe ex-best friend. I don't know. Maybe they're still friendly. Karli Kloss did go to the Eras Tour, I will add, though. Did you know that?
Yeah, but that was a whole thing.
She was just sitting in regular
not
seats.
In the VIP tent.
Nope.
And Taylor kept like looking up in her direction when she sang some pretty choice lyrics. Also, though, they were at the same wedding.
They were at Karen Elson's wedding
at Electric Ladies Studios.
Karen Elson's a model with red hair.
Yeah, so Madeline's
my old
soul
coworker.
sister.
No. Never modeled with Karen Elson.
You never know.
She's too famous.
Well,
no,
you're pretty famous now.
I wasn't in
Gossip
Vogue.
Show.
I wasn't photographed by Stephen Meisel. Okay, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
This podcast really does it all.
I miss magazines.
I am obsessed with Stephen Meisel because he's like not photographed, so like no one knows what he.
I don't know what he looks like
exactly,
but he was in every. He took all the pictures.
He still does.
Annie Leibovitz, Stephen Meisel.
He still does.
Okay, so Karli Kloss.
Karli Kloss
joins the ownership group.
Yeah,
along with this guy named Jack Ma, who is the co-founder of Alibaba, the Chinese, e-commerce everything, which Joe Tsai launched Alibaba with Jack Ma.
Oh, so he brought in his old pal.
Yeah, and Karli Kloss. And it's just very interesting to me that Karli Kloss, very on brand for her. Yeah. She had Code with Klossy, which was like her women in STEM moment. Yes. I don't know if she still has it.
She still has that, yes.
Okay. Also married to Joshua Kushner, who Famously. Is the brother of Ivanka Trump's husband. But Karli is like very liberal presenting.
Yeah, it's odd.
I don't know.
They all did just go on vacation together in Costa Rica. So never forget. Do you remember on Project Runway? Oh my God! Do you know what I'm talking about? Karli Kloss was a judge. On Project Runway.
Okay.
And one of the contestants had a bad outfit that was just getting judged, I think, kind of poorly by them.
Yeah.
And in response to something Karli said, or one of the judges said, the contestant goes, "You wouldn't even wear this to dinner with the Kushners?"
Oh.
And her face, it was like you could just tell.
They aired that.
They kept it in. Oh. Which, no, she didn't get final edit, which I love that.
Love.
They were like, we're keeping this. Because, a great one-liner.
Big time.
Yeah. Anyways.
Iconic.
Anyways.
So Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Taylor's dating Travis Kelce, tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody knows that. She's become very sports adjacent.
Yes.
Karli Kloss is like, now she is very sports adjacent.
Yes.
And I would say I find it interesting that her husband, Joshua Kushner, recently posted a picture of Karli from a while ago and said, the first photo I ever took of you 13 years ago. 13 is famously Taylor Swift's favorite number. And Karli Kloss talked about, she's pregnant again, having her third kid, talked about her life on Emma Greedy's podcast. Emma Greedy, I believe that's how you say it.
I think so.
Greedy. I don't know.
Something like that.
Is the entrepreneur who is behind all of the Kardashians brands.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift famously had a massive feud with Kim Kardashian. I don't know. Karli Kloss has also like posted TikToks during the Eras Tour era of like doing like posting 13 pictures or put like It feels like maybe Karli knows that she is really most relevant as it relates to Taylor Swift, and maybe there are these things she's doing that are purposely meant to make people talk about it because then they're talking about her.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. And also, this is coming on the heels of rumors that Taylor Swift's going to drop Taylor's Reputation, Taylor's version.
Right.
So it all kind of fits in the narrative. It's interesting. It's just interesting timing, regardless. But here's what I'll say.
Okay.
Or maybe Karli, and they announce this investment. This is really, I'm grasping at straws here.
Okay.
Do you famously remember? You probably don't. I'm too locked into the Karli Kloss Taylor Swift lore.
You're
locked in?
I'm pretty far down the tumblers.
Okay. Oh, you're okay. So okay. There were photos of them courtside at a Knicks game. Do you remember these
Yes.
photos?
Yes.
I've actually thought about it. I was like, if we were ever invited courtside to a Knicks game, we got to recreate their outfits.
Look, I will cut and
You know,
bleach my hair.
Yes.
Wasn't it bleach?
Yes,
it
and then
was Taylor's
Karli, I
bleach
believe,
outfit?
has big gold hoops, if I really am remembering correctly, and they're both drinking beers.
Did someone spill a?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
But they have
Maybe.
beer.
They have
Their
beers.
drinks
They have
were.
beers. So maybe it's like they're thinking about the Knicks and going courtside with their friend that one time.
Wow, she's like, I'm gonna buy a basketball team.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a basketball team.
Huh?
Interesting.
Huh.
I don't know.
Makes you think.
Food for thought. Wouldn't it be iconic, though, if Karli Kloss and Taylor Swift, if they were friendly again, who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
If they were, and they made their friendship re-debut at a Knicks game in the same way that Jordan Woods and Kylie Jenner, like, had their kind of reunion. I mean, they've been photographed together before, but still.
They would have to do it at a Liberty game now.
I would combust.
I would combust. We would explode.
Could you imagine? Oh my God, that'd be so good.
I mean,
Anyways.
Okay, so sticking with the women's basketball theme.
Yes.
Azzi Fudd, who is a player for UConn going into her final year with the University of Connecticut. Paige Bueckers, famously finished at UConn, won a championship in her last game, is now in the Dallas Wings. They finally won a game.
Thank God.
Congrats to them. There's been a lot of speculation as to what Azzi and Paige's relationship is.
Yeah.
They're famously best friends, are always together. Azzi sat with Paige at the table the way that, you know, at draft night, the way that people will often bring their significant others.
Yeah.
And so people have, for a long time, there's been like Azzi Paige lore of people being like, they want them to be together. They haven't confirmed it. They haven't denied it.
Yeah.
Azzi posted a TikTok, which is this trend on TikTok where one person, it's like a relationship trend where someone's sitting there and you get the bill and the other person says, how much was it? And the person with the bill says, you know, in this case, Paige says $200. And Azzi goes, oh, that's not bad. And Paige sort of makes the like womp womp face.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one paying for stuff, you know. And the caption was, princess treatment every time I'm with her, with an angel emoji and a heart emoji, hashtag spoiled at Paige Bueckers.
I mean,
Is that a hard launch?
I feel like it's a hard launch.
Or a soft hard launch?
I'd say that's a hard launch. I mean, we could be wrong, but I don't think so.
You don't really do.
No.
That's not a trend you do with your best friend.
No, I don't think so. Especially emoji use. Those emojis are not platonic.
No. No.
They're not- I don't think they're platonic emojis.
No, and
I don't know.
people are pretty jazzed. If that's how they're announcing that, because also, you know, talk about coworkers.
Yeah.
They were on the same UConn team.
Right.
I guess student athletes. They
Yeah.
went to school together.
Yeah, true.
You can't really be publicly dating
No.
someone on your team in college.
No.
It's different in the W.
No, you can't. You can't.
So
I'm all for it. I think
same.
it's great.
Oh,
I think it's great.
I can't, if they finally, if this is true and they finally go public
Yeah.
more and more, the content is going to be out of control.
Like, if this is the hard launch TikTok, I'm like, what else is to come?
Exactly.
Come on.
Also, something that, you know, when they Paige sat down at the table at the draft.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said to Azzi was, I'm mic'd up.
Oh, yeah.
As in, like, don't say anything.
Yes.
And also, Paige did a lot of SponCon deals at UConn for NIL and always sort of seemed to get Azzi in on it as well, like with Bose or with this hair dye company. And I just think that's a real one.
It's a real one. Also, did you see the Paige Bueckers did the Speaking of SponCon for Verizon, and all these people, I think she started a food bank or something like that, and these people came in to say how much she impacted her, and then it ends, I believe, on a coach, one of her old coaches.
Yes, her like AAU
yes,
coach.
I think so. And it's just like so sweet. Honestly, incredible spawn, Verizon. I was hooked till the end. I had tears in my eyes. Beautiful piece of content.
Very moving.
Very moving.
Good job.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Okay, you added something to our doc this week. And it has to do with Bill Belichick.
Which, shocking.
Shocking. And his boat.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Okay, so let me set the scene. It's 2014. I work at Boston.com. I find out that the name of Bill's boat is, I think at that time it was Six Rings.
Uh-huh. Okay.
which was how many rings he had won, both as a head coach of the Patriots and as an assistant coach in his career before that. Every time he won a Super Bowl, he would change the name of his boat to 7 rings. It was most recently 8 rings, which, as a sailor, historically bad luck to change the name of a boat.
Yeah.
You know the Bayesian, that boat that sank, that huge super yacht?
Yeah.
I read the full report, by the way. Crazy. Of how it sank. Whatever. Used to be called something else. Not good,
juju.
not good luck to change the name of your boat.
And this is coming from expert sailor Charlotte
Yes,
Weather, so
thank you.
Trust what she says.
So Bill, most recently, it's 8 rings because that's how many Super Bowls he's won. He changed it to 1 plus 8 rings.
No.
Not 9 rings, which would insinuate another sports win.
Yeah.
The 1 seems to represent something else.
I wonder what that could be.
What do you give people rings for?
Well, maybe if Bill Belichick got down on one knee and proposed and gave a ring to Jordan Hudson, which reports are alleging that they are engaged.
I also saw one report, which was the funniest possible situation here, which is that it was added to represent her one cheerleading championship.
I mean, honestly,
which I could see. That
see.
is as possible.
I could see
an option as the.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that. I would believe that was true, honestly.
So,
but either way, interesting.
The fact that this guy changes the name of his boat so much to represent his personal accomplishments.
Just keep it. Call it like Super Bowl champ. The champ. Call it champ.
Champ. Great name for a boat.
Champ.
Champion.
That's it. Don't change it again.
Also, you have to read Roman numerals. And 8 is, I would argue, the hardest Roman numeral to read.
Yes,
because
it
it's
is.
V-I-I-I. You have to count the I's, which are hard to count because they're
all
close
close
together.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know. And then you have to know that that's 8. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's asking a lot of work from the viewer.
It's a lot of work, especially if you're in a boat and you're bouncing up and down and you see a boat pass and you're like, what's the name of that boat? And you're like, one,
Roman
two, three.
numerals.
What is it? It's V?
V.
Boats are going fast.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. Also, what? You call the Coast Guard and you say, Coast Guard, over Coast Guard, Roger, this is 8 rings. And then the Coast Guard comes and they see your boat and they're like, I don't know if that's 8 or 7.
Right.
How do we know if we're supposed to save them or not? You know? Like,
I would watch that dark comedy.
Same. Oh, I mean, we are just giving ideas away for free.
Oh, we are. Wow. Okay. Well, I would guess that maybe it has to do with Miss Hudson, but I don't know.
I mean, look, Jordan, we have a lot of thoughts about, a lot of feelings about.
Yeah.
We DM'd her. We asked her to come on the show.
Having her back.
We put out a clip saying, come on the show. Didn't work.
She did watch our Instagram stories, so
We're still here.
we're here.
I think Jordan has done some wild stuff.
Yeah.
What I will say about her is that she certainly does know continually how to make the story about her.
Yeah, she does.
I just have a hard time thinking it was Bill's idea to rename this boat.
No, I don't believe it was.
This feels very much like the way that Jordan made lobsters out of strawberries and served them to each of them.
Yes.
This feels energetically similar.
Very much so. Very much so.
So.
Well, switching gears a bit. Talking about a sport we haven't talked about. Lacrosse.
Oh.
I was saying to Charlotte before we recorded, I was on the first girls lacrosse team in my town growing up. Played for one season.
What'd you think?
Too much contact. I like volleyball. I was like behind a net. I mean, there was some contact with the ball, but you're not like running into people.
Yeah,
it was like the sticks. I don't know.
Checking the stick.
I didn't like that.
I played lacrosse for a while. And I played until my sophomore year of high school. And it was during tryouts for varsity in the spring. And you had to run so much.
So much running.
And there was one day during tryouts where I was so sore that I could barely walk down the stairs. And I went to practice and I saw the softball team. And I'm running laps. I'm running like 20 laps around this stupid field. And the softball team the whole time, they're gabbing. They're tossing the ball back and forth. And I was like, oh, that looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And I like had played Little League or whatever. And I'm like pretty good at hitting. So I was like, you know what? I went into the athletic department's office. Miss Hill was the name of the lacrosse coach.
It was me.
Like, oh, yeah. Deb Hill. Wild that I'm remembering all of this. And Miss Gregory was the coach of the softball team. And I went up to Miss Gregg and I said, Miss Gregg, I'm not about this lacrosse stuff anymore.
Yeah.
The goggles itch my forehead.
Oh yeah, those goggles.
And I can't keep running like this. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I said, I want to play softball. And she was like, well, Miss Hill's not going to be very happy. And I was like, Miss Hill doesn't give a shit.
She
I'm
doesn't
not
care.
I'm not
I
making
promise you she
varsity.
doesn't care.
Yeah, like I promise you. Ended up playing softball. I was a captain.
Oh my
and I
God.
got league honorable mention my
Wait,
senior year.
what? I didn't know you played softball.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
contain
God,
multitudes.
Okay,
well,
wow.
because
They're
it was for
swinging
2
that ball
years.
around.
I played for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Swing that arm and toss it. It's
It
crazy.
was the most fun sport I've ever played because you are talking. The whole sport is about talking. You don't have to run that much.
I should have played softball then.
It was so much fun. You just like throw ball back and forth to warm up and you're gabbing. Then you're sitting on the bench and you're gabbing. Then you get up and you get to just cheer for your friends as they're trying to hit a ball. Like,
yeah. Oh.
Really social sport.
I should have played that. Volleyball's social, but you're not chatting while you're playing.
Right. You are closer together.
You're chatting like during the tournaments. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, all I did was just play travel volleyball my entire childhood and just staying in a lot of Holiday Inns around the country. And like, we would just chat and eat at like Maggiano's and Olive Garden all the time. It was fun.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. I just had to. Anyway, so we're talking
Lacrosse,
about
yes.
lacrosse. The women's national championship was UNC versus Northwestern. Northwestern's been this powerhouse conference school. They are very good. I think they've won 8 national championships. Wow. UNC, however, had not lost a game leading up to this. Also, so fun. Memorial Day weekend, I was just lying on the couch watching the lacrosse. I was locked in.
You're locked in.
You could really put any sport on TV, and
Yeah.
as soon as you start Googling who's there,
Yeah,
it becomes so interesting.
exactly. That's why we started this podcast.
Personal life.
A personal life always. Wikipedia personal life section. It's the
Yeah.
most important part.
So there's this player on UNC, Chloe Humphrey, who scored 90 goals this season.
Crazy.
So everybody's celebrating. UNC wins. It's very exciting. Blah, blah, blah. They run out onto the field. And Chloe Humphrey is interviewed. And there are these 2 other people sitting next to her who look a lot like her. And they were like, the Humphrey sisters. And I was like, there are 3 Humphreys on this day. And there is...
Not related to Dan Humphrey from Gossip Girl, I would like to add. Just want to clarify.
Thank you. People were so confused.
I guarantee there's one person listening who immediately thought of Gossip Girl like I just did.
Yeah,
There's
but
at
they
least
weren't
one.
like, are they related to a fake person? Okay. So, I mean,
You
maybe
never
they are.
know.
Look, who knows?
Hey, I see people share a lot of weird AI videos that I think are smarter than they're
What?
posting. They're posting like those AI videos. Like there's this one. It's like a firefighter taking like a kitten out of a fire, and it's so obviously AI and fake. It's a fake video, and people I know personally, I was like, guys, what are we doing? Where's
they're
media
commenting?
literacy? No, they're resharing it to their stories. I'm like, guys, this isn't real. If the firefighter has 6 fingers and the cat has an additional paw, odds are it's not real.
Odds are.
So anyways, I'm just saying, you never know.
Okay. That is a great. Okay. You know what? Sure. You can have it. Okay. Look,
Okay, anyways, all right, continue.
Okay, so Nicole, Ashley, and Chloe Humphrey all won a national championship together as sisters. The content on Chloe's TikTok has been very good, by the way, in after this. And something that I want to talk about is that they're from Darien, Connecticut, which is the most lacrosse place you could be. Like, if you asked me, what town do you think these girls are from? I would have said Darien, Connecticut.
Yeah, and it's like the town that the Click books were in.
What?
Remember the Click books? The Click series?
No.
What? Click. That's what they're called. Hold on.
I have never heard of this in my life.
Yeah, the Click. Young adult novel series written by Canadian author Lacey Harrison. It was
Also, Darien, Connecticut is the town that a Canadian person would be like, what's the preppiest
correct.
place
It's like
I
a
can
prep.
think of?
It was like a book about like preppy kids. I mean, the book covers are like preppy patterns.
Argyle, plaid.
Argyle. You don't know these books?
No.
Yeah.
I'll look into them. I'll
You
take
won't read
one
them
out
now.
from the
Someone
library.
listening also will know about these books.
Yeah, because every time you say an obscure thing, people are like, oh yeah, I know that thing. And I'm like, I don't know that thing.
Well, it's just,
If you know, you know, and I don't.
I'm younger than you. I don't know.
Don't remind me. My Gen Z
I'm not Gen
co-host.
Z. Not Gen Z.
You do know computers better than
No, I
do.
still do think I always see that test. It's like, are you Gen Z or not Gen Z? When they say do a telephone, they all go like this. They pick it up like with their
like
hand.
a flat hand.
Flat. You pick it up like
Like a
receiver.
shaka,
Yeah,
like
you pick,
surfing.
like you're doing
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I had dial-up. Please.
Okay.
Please.
Also, last night, I did post this on my Instagram story. There was a moment where Timothée Chalamet and Ben Stiller both traveled to go to the Knicks game, and they were standing next to each other, and Timmy could not have looked more Gen Z. He was wearing like, you know, the glasses that I wore in 2000 and thought they were really cool, the small sunglasses, like big leather jacket, and Ben Stiller's wearing a Knicks like not cool hoodie next to him. Sorry, Ben, love you, but I don't know if I love you. I've never met you. But anyway, they stand up, and Ben has like gray hair, and Timmy looks so young, and I was like, this is the two of us when I'm like trying to do something on my computer.
It's true. I've seen Charlotte do some shocking things on
I
her
lost
computer.
all of the windows on my computer the other day. They just all went away, and I was like, oh, and Madeline's like, you know how to do this one. And there's a button.
Charlotte, I press the button where it just makes your, you know, all the windows just go away
I didn't
for a
press
second.
a button. I put my mouse somewhere.
She put it up in the corner, which does that sometime. It doesn't.
But
it's
not
now
doing
not
it
going to
now.
do it now.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyways.
So the Humphrey sisters are from Darien, Connecticut, and I need to read you some facts about their parents.
Please. Can I just, okay, give me a fact.
Have you looked at this?
No, I haven't seen this.
What?
No, I was just going to guess what the parents did for work.
Oh, I don't know what they do.
All right. Well,
I'm guessing finance.
fine. That's what I was going to guess.
And I think that we probably are not wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
The family's athletic legacy includes their mother, Sarah, who played lacrosse at Dartmouth, and their father, John, who is inducted into the Middlebury Sports Hall of Fame for his basketball achievements. He has the most points in Middlebury basketball history.
Okay.
For those who don't know,
all right,
this is a Northeast like fever dream.
Yeah, this is
and
like
they have
the most...
3 daughters who play lacrosse, who won a national championship for lacrosse. Like, I went to Colby College. It's a NESCAC school, which is what Middlebury is.
Yeah.
Anytime there's anything having to do with the NESCAC in sports, because it's not that like Duncan Robinson, a player on the Miami Heat, he went to Williams for a year before he transferred.
So
and
random.
The coach of the Utah Jazz, Will Hardy, he also went to Williams, and he was there at the same time that I was at Colby. So I definitely it's like my brain gloms onto this.
Yes. And that's I was waiting for a second sentence, but nothing came out. No, yeah, that is the most Northeast facts. The most Northeast, going to a small liberal arts school. We get it. I didn't get into them. It's fine.
Oh, I was waitlisted at Colby.
It's fine.
I sent a professor there my poems, and I was like, please let me in.
Oh, yeah, well.
I didn't get into any colleges, and look at us now. What I will say is this goes towards my theory of normal people having kids. If you're hoping that they'll get into college for sports, you're screwed, because even like a Dartmouth lacrosse player and a Middlebury basketball player are breeding super athletes.
Yeah, we're screwed.
So it is lacrosse. Like there's a chance, like you don't have to be as tall to play, but like the major sports, those are all out of reach.
Out of reach.
Good
luck.
Those kids are bred to be super athletes.
Yeah, no, we're screwed. We're screwed.
Lacrosse and Darien, they're coming from athletic royalty.
Yeah.
Come on.
We got no chance.
All right.
Okay, so you added something to the doc that I'm like, what is going on here?
What?
All it says is Tom Brady is curating a hall of excellence.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds like an AI-generated sentence.
Well,
speaking of AI.
it could be.
Maybe it is.
He did post it, but it's at the Fontainebleau in Vegas, which used to just be in Miami. They opened one in Vegas. I think Tom Brady's an investor or something. Let me just read you that. He posted this on his story. And it says, opening June 20th, the Hall of Excellence, not Hall of Fame, just like Hall of Excellence, brings together the rarest memorabilia from the world's most celebrated icons, curated by sportscasting legend Jim Gray and 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. This museum experience reveals untold stories through extraordinary artifacts, from Michael Jordan's first Air Jordans to Oprah Winfrey's Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Okay.
Also, there is like a Tiger Woods thing, which they are very energetically similar.
Very similar.
It says your self-guided tour unfolds across immersive events, each featuring voices like Oprah, Bob Costas, Snoop Dogg, and Tom Brady, which is a nightmare blunt rotation. Like, no thank you.
That is, okay. Why?
Probably. Oh, it's also Tiger Woods golf ball from his first Masters win and complete set of Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowl rings. This is a recession indicator.
Recession indicator for sure. In the same way that Michael Jordan announcing for NBC for the upcoming NBA season is a recession indicator.
That's it. That's what it is. This man needs money. Tom Brady. Let's see. What else has he done recently? auctioned off a bunch of his stuff at Sotheby's in a special auction.
Yeah. Started a YouTube channel.
If that's not a recession indicator, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Also, now he's doing this Hall of Excellence thing. He's broadcasting for $300 million a year. People forget he was involved in the crypto thing with Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
We don't know how much money that man lost.
Yeah, probably a lot. Probably a lot.
FTX?
Yeah, something like that.
For the Xanax, you know, I just
it's a recession indicator.
all right.
We'll have to go visit it.
Yeah.
In other sports news, the Monaco Grand Prix was this weekend.
Talk to me.
Lando Norris won. Very exciting.
Do we like him?
Yeah, I think so.
I really don't know.
He seems like a nice guy.
Okay.
He gives off good vibes to me.
All right.
I don't know.
Someone will tell us.
So for some context about this Monaco Grand Prix, my brother was explaining this to me when I was just visiting Austin. They implemented these new rules for the Monaco Grand Prix where each driver has to take 2 pit stops. But what that essentially meant was the race was really boring because each team has 2 drivers, right? So when one driver would be in their pit stop, the driver for the other team would just be slowing the race down, waiting for his teammate to finish the pit stop. So then they would just be going slow. I mean, they're not going 10 miles an hour. Obviously, they're still going fast, but it was boring. So nothing happened.
Wow.
Because they were all just strategically taking their pit stops, and then the other driver for their team would just go slow
and block other people.
Yeah.
From
So
going
from
fast.
a race standpoint, it was very
Why
boring.
did they do that?
Safety?
Safety?
I think it was safety reasons that they implemented these rules, but now I think everyone's like, well, we got to unimplement these next year.
Yeah.
Because Monaco, it's the Super Bowl of F1 races.
Yes.
It's you want it to be fun and exciting. If you've been to Monaco, I went once. It's I didn't go to the race. But I mean,
was sorry.
No, yeah, if I just dropped.
What?
No, I just went to Monaco
you were
for
at
the day.
Monaco Grand Prix. Okay.
No. Anyways, but the roads are really windy. It's just a cool scene for a race. That is if it's boring, who wants to watch that?
I don't.
No.
Also, not to be part of the appeal of F1 is that it's fast and dangerous.
Exactly.
I get making it more safe, probably a good thing to do, but it's not going to be as thrilling.
No, it's not. It's not.
Didn't Joe Burrow go last year?
I think so.
I feel
yes.
don't
a
they
lot of celebrities
trot
go.
a lot of celebs.
Yeah,
It's like the Kentucky Derby of Southern France.
Honestly, kind of. Yes.
Sorry,
a lot of celebrities
sorry.
go. Honestly, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That feels insulting, but
No.
anyway.
Anyways,
So
but
what happened?
Anyway, so Lando wins, blah, blah, blah. But he hard launched his girlfriend who he used to date.
So he
Or
dated...
hard launched the girl he's seen again. I don't know if they haven't said their boyfriend, girlfriend, but I mean, she
What
was there.
did
She
he-
was on the screen after he won. Her name, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. Margarida Corceiro.
Okay.
So they were first seen together in May 2023 after this model, Margarita, split from a soccer player. And then they were spotted attending the Monte Carlo Masters final in April 2024. And at the time, they didn't confirm their relationship, but she was seen supporting Norris at other races. And then, anyways,
wow.
they seemed like they maybe broke up or something. And then she pops back up at the Monaco Grand Prix on TV. I remember I clocked her. I was like, who's that girl?
I mean,
Anyways.
we talk about chic hard launches.
Yeah, very chic.
Hard to beat on a Jumbotron at the Monaco Grand Prix
Yeah.
because it's not, you're not posting it.
No.
And it's also
it was
not-
ESPN posting it.
Yeah, and it's not like a Vogue exclusive where they get your
No.
permission to, you had nothing to, you just, I just happened to be here. I mean, obviously you had a lot to do with it, but
Yes.
it's strategic
Yeah.
and it looks like you're not doing it, but you are doing it.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Amazing. Good for them. We get a lot of really good DMs about F1, and I'm sure people are going to DM us and be like, there's so much more to the story.
Yes. So you can send it our way.
Yeah.
We'll read it.
You added something.
Okay. I have a compressed floral update for
Oh,
you.
God. So if you haven't been listening
Yes.
before, we like to clock athlete engagements because a lot of them just do these flowers that are so compressed.
They're just so
They're
compressed.
just
They need to breathe. They're just in there. Anyways, NFL rookie Travis Hunter tied the knot to Liana Lene de la Fuente in Tennessee at a place called The Barn, which I would imagine is a barn.
Sorry.
But I don't know. Anyways.
Okay.
So after they said I do, there's a video circulating of Hunter presenting his wife with a gift, which we'll get to the gift in a second. In the video, what I immediately notice is her veil. The veil has what looks like floral applique, but they're big flowers, and it reminds me of the compressed florals. I've never seen a compressed floral veil.
No, me neither.
It's definitely a first.
They're close together.
Yes.
There is a little more breathing room than we
true.
sometimes get.
Yes.
But not a lot.
No, not a lot of room. Not a lot of room.
The gift that Travis Hunter...
Okay. He presented her with a brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG G35.
Which is a G-Wagon, colloquially. Which is one of those that looks like an armored Brinks truck, but as an SUV.
Which...
Matte black.
Okay. I totally... Listen, if I had that much money, sure, I'd be just wheeling and dealing cars left and right. Whatever. My first thought when I saw him unveil the gift, I was like, I feel like I'm watching an episode of My Super Sweet 16.
That was my thought too.
I was like, this is like what they gave
That's what
their kids.
At the end of My Super Sweet 16,
get a
every
car.
episode, they go outside the venue where their party is, and
Yes.
their dad gives them a car.
Yes. That's
And
what I thought was going to
happen. It even had like the bow that she had to cut open.
It literally was the same. That was just like my immediate thought.
I mean, it's more useful than jewelry.
True.
You can drive a car.
That's true.
You can't drive a ring. I
Can't
mean, I'm
drive a
sure she
ring.
got both, but I just it was a wild moment.
Wild.
That was great for social media.
Wild. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Some tennis news.
Yes.
Andy Murray, former tennis player, is no longer Novak Djokovic's coach.
Yes. And Djokovic insists that the coach breakup was mutual. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it was.
Djokovic hadn't been playing that well with Andy as his coach. I thought it was a little weird when they announced that Andy was his coach because they played against each other a lot. Andy recently retired.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a little fresh.
Yeah.
Like,
it's too soon.
Don't you want like an old guy with gray stubble? Like not old, but like 47, 50 with gray stubble.
Yes.
And a deep tan who's clearly never done anything but coach tennis and has a few broken marriages because he loves the game more than he loves his wife. Like, don't you want that guy to coach you?
Yes. You don't want Andy Murray. Andy Murray's your coworker.
Yeah.
It's like having your coworker become your boss later on.
No, thank you.
I don't want that. It was too soon. I agree.
He does technically work for Djokovic. So it's like
Yeah,
your
true.
boss
Okay,
that you pay.
Yes. But it's too soon. I agree.
Too
It's
soon.
weird. It was weird.
Here is one other stat that I would like to say.
What?
Djokovic won 25 of his 36 matches against Murray.
Wow.
Why would you pay a guy to coach you who you beat all the time?
That's true. You need someone who's never played you. Again, like an old guy, to your point.
Yes. You need an old guy who's like 5'11". That's it.
Just an old guy who's 5'11".
That's it.
Period.
Look, we all saw Challengers. We know what Josh O'Connor's future is in that movie. It's to become a coach. You need Josh O'Connor in 20 years to coach you from Challengers.
All right. Yeah. I have nothing else to say on that.
Vibes.
Yeah. Vibes.
All right.
Okay. We had a lot to cover.
What
this
an
week.
episode.
What an episode.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much for your patience with my Delta Gate. Literally pun in Delta Gate.
Delta Gate. Like
Yeah.
a gate.
If anyone works for Delta, some words.
Give this girl a couple
I've been a
frequent
Sky
flyer
Miles member since the early 90s.
Which,
okay.
How is that your mom and that just
Yeah, I made a Sky Miles account when I was like a baby.
that's so smart.
Kind of amazing.
That's so smart.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Well, yeah, as always, that's it. Please like and subscribe. Rate and review makes a huge difference. Follow us on Instagram at Sports Gossip.
Ooh.
TikTok at Sports Gossip Show. YouTube, we're at Sports Gossip Show. Yeah.
We'll catch you on the flip.
Catch you on the flip. Okay, bye.
Bye.